Who is the strongest Avenger? It's a tough question to tackle, and it could have many an answer. But today on Top 10 Nerd, we're going for it. Alright, let's just get to it. Who are the contenders when it comes to the strongest Avenger? Let's take a look at a handful of characters from both the comics and the MCU. But first, let's start with the comics. Now, in the comic books, the current team of Avengers from the most recent Avengers series, Volume 8, that started up in 2018 as part of the Fresh Start story event, consists of Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, She-Hulk, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Ghost Rider. Blade was also added to the roster in the series as it progressed. The big three, Cap, Thor, and Iron Man, were set to be the mainstays of the team, with the other members rotating as time went on. This is an incredibly diverse team, to say the least. Captain Marvel, Thor, and Doctor Strange really stand out in terms of diversity when it comes to their abilities, but that doesn't mean that the rest of them can't hold their own either. While the lineup we have for the newest iteration of the team is pretty intense, it also wouldn't be fair to exclude past members, since there's a whole lot of powerful ones that we'd be forgetting. And for this video's sake, we're only looking at the two first iterations. Now, when Earth's mightiest heroes first hit the scene in the Avengers Issue 1, Volume 1 back in 1963, the team, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, consisted of Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man, and the Wasp, with Cap joining in at issue number 4. As time went on prior to the 1970s, the team switched it up again, with Cap staying put and 3 former villains joining the team as heroes: Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. Out of all of these characters, arguably of course, the Hulk and Scarlet Witch really stand out as contenders for the strongest. Now, the Hulk in the comics is literally almost unbeatable. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. His invulnerability grows stronger and stronger, as does his stamina, durability, and his regenerative healing factor, to the point where he's been capable of resisting nuclear warfare and can survive in space. Now, it varies, but the Hulk has very few weaknesses, and if you've ever watched any of our Versus videos featuring the character, you'll know that he's very difficult to kill, or even subdue. Scarlet Witch, on the other hand, may not be as invulnerable as the Hulk, but girl's got some serious power, that's for damn sure. Wanda Maximoff is capable of reality warping, matter manipulation, time manipulation, energy projection, teleportation, magic, and probability manipulation. She's one hell of a sorceress. Whole story events have been written around her and her ability to mess with time and matter, and she's proven to be downright deadly. So, where does that leave us? Well, one could argue that in the comics, the Hulk or Scarlet Witch could take the cake, particularly the Hulk if we're looking at sheer strength and power here. The comics and specific cases on alternate Earths really make it difficult to have an objective opinion, especially if we're approaching this as, this Avenger could defeat this Avenger. So let's try to simplify things a bit here, and take a look outside of the comics. Specifically, let's look at the wildly popular Earth 199999. aka the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for the sake of clarity, we're looking at characters who were official Avengers prior to Civil War. Although, if we're being honest, the only character who stands a chance at really taking on and defeating the original team is Doctor Strange. Subjective opinion there, but Stephen Strange in the MCU is hella strong, but also not technically an Avenger. And sorry Peter Parker, you're just not there yet. One day, buddy. One day. Anywho, in the MCU, the team's lineup is Iron Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, War Machine, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, briefly, Vision, and Falcon, with the team being founded by Nick Fury. Spider-Man in Infinity War was technically made into an Avenger by Tony Stark, but for the purposes of this video, we're excluding him from the roster, also for reasons that we mentioned earlier. So with that in mind, what can we sum up? Well, for starters, Black Widow and Hawkeye, regardless of how they manage to hold their own on the team, don't quite make the cut for strongest Avenger. War Machine, while an extremely valuable asset to the team, just ain't as strong or powerful as Tony Stark. Rhodey might have his past experience in the military to help him out in the field, but he's still all suit, whereas Stark just has that upper hand thanks to his genius level intellect and his ability and sheer luck with improvising in battle. Same goes for Falcon. Sam has the experience and skill, but he just doesn't compare to some of the other members on the team. That leaves us with the big four: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and the Hulk. And the twins, Wanda and Pietro. And also Vision. Did we mention Vision? Yeah, Vision. Can't forget Vision. Now, Pietro's dead, so I feel like that immediately disqualifies him from this race. Now, to be fair, he did sacrifice himself to save Hawkeye, and we'll never really get to see Quicksilver's full capabilities on the big screen. I mean, maybe, because, you know, comic book characters returning from the dead and all. But needless to say, he just doesn't have the chops compared to others. Vision and Scarlet Witch also proved to be really interesting. Vision officially took out Ultron, something that the other Avengers, with perhaps the exception of Wanda, had a really tough time trying to do. Now, Ultron did have a very specific advantage over the others on the team, so, you know, you win some, you lose some. As proven in Infinity War, Vision at the same time was reliant on the Mind Stone, and once removed, died. Considering that Vision is arguably more powerful than our buddy Steve Rogers, we're also gonna remove Cap out of the running because of that. Then there's Scarlet Witch, who has proven to be wickedly powerful, except Wanda has a whole lot of trouble controlling her powers. So who are we left with? Thor, Iron Man, and the Hulk. Now last time we saw them, Bruce Banner was having a real tough time in Infinity War bringing the Hulk out, which resulted in him having to don the Hulkbuster suit in order to participate in the final showdown of the film. Tony Stark, while having ultimately been beaten by Thanos, concocted a plan that could have actually defeated the Mad Titan if it weren't for Peter Quill's emotions getting involved. And Thor? Well, he almost killed Thanos. But because he didn't aim for the Mad Titan's head, the villain lived to see another day. So if we're going off of the comics, the Hulk seems to be the clear winner. In a literal sense, he is the strongest Avenger, with his base strength already surmounting many other heroes, and the increase of that strength going off the charts the angrier he gets. Scarlet Witch makes for one hell of a runner-up, considering the range of abilities that she has, and the fact that she can warp and manipulate matter and reality, something that's proven to have made a major impact on the Marvel Universe on several occasions. But if we're looking at the MCU, it's a whole other ballgame. Really, it comes down to Thor, Iron Man, and the Hulk. Tony Stark in the MCU has what Batman in the DC Universe has in the comics. Good old plot armor. What's that? Well, it means that the character is often written to be invincible because of his genius level intellect or his preparation skills and other abilities, despite not being as strong as other characters in that world. For example, the fact that Batman has been Superman so many times in the comics is exactly that. If dude has preparation time, he can defeat anyone. While Tony's character hasn't been written to that extent in the MCU, there's been hints of that over the years, and many believe that he'll be the character who puts an end to Thanos once and for all. Then we have the Hulk, a character who has yet to proven to have the kinds of strength and invincibility that he has in the comics, and can't be controlled. He's not reliable. And Thor? Well, like we said earlier, he almost killed Thanos. Now before we continue, arguably Wanda could very well be a contender later on down the line when she has better control over her abilities, something that could really prove to be interesting depending on the direction that the character is taken in by Marvel Studios. Now some speculation suggests that Scarlet Witch might even get her own television series on Disney's new streaming service, which has led to the popular fan theory that her own show will set the stage for the introduction of mutants, and potentially the X-Men, even though she's not actually a mutant in the MCU, with Wanda taking the position of Magneto and his ideology since she has a history of the public openly fearing her. And while we are talking exceptions, it's only fair that we briefly touch on another character who would have won the title who hasn't even officially debuted in the MCU. We're talking Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, who was said by Marvel Studios to be the strongest hero ever to be brought into the universe. Thing is, she ain't an Avenger yet, although the popular theory is that she'll end up taking over for Cap in Phase 4 of the MCU. That being said, really at the end of the day, in the current state of the MCU and the current Avengers team, Thor is the top contender for Strongest Avenger. He is reliably strong, which eliminates Bruce Banner's Hulk, and he doesn't rely on a suit, although he does have Stormbreaker at his disposal to aid him in a big way. In Thor Ragnarok, we saw the character really come into his own, attaining a whole new level of power that hasn't been seen in the MCU before. And when he arrived on Earth during the final showdown in Infinity War, he was a game changer. Had he just aimed for Thanos' head, the damage done after Infinity War could have maybe been resolved. Alright, so there we have it friends, the strongest Avenger is Thor in the MCU. Who would you have chosen in both the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the comics? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know your thoughts. If you dug this video, spread the love, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for all of your comic book and MCU needs, from lists to news to fan theories to much more. In the meantime though, thanks for watching friends. I'll catch you all in the next video.